Section 1. The sacred narration unfolds from the timeless wisdom of the Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the most revered texts in Sanatan Dharma. Within it lies Skanda 8, a profound chapter that reveals the great cosmic event of the Samudra Manthana, the churning of the ocean of existence. In this series of reflections, each episode gently unfolds a moment from this divine unfolding. A moment not just of myth, but of meaning. This is episode 10, Varuni, goddess of wine and temptation. After the emergence of the celestial Asuras, the great churning of the cosmic ocean continued. The waters of the Kshira Sagar still trembled beneath the force of Mount Mandara, while the serpent Vasuki remained coiled around the mountain, like a living cord binding heaven and chaos together. The Devas and Asuras continued their relentless struggle, their eyes fixed upon the ocean, waiting to see which mystery would rise next from its unfathomable depths. For the Samudra Manthana was not merely the search for Amrit, it was the unveiling of existence itself. One by one, the hidden forces of life emerged from the cosmic waters: beauty, power, poison, wealth, desire, temptation, and the countless tests that accompany them. Some treasures uplifted the worlds, others revealed the weaknesses hidden within the human mind. And then, from the churning ocean arose another mysterious presence. She was Varuni, the goddess associated with wine, intoxication, and fermented drink. Her appearance introduced a different kind of test into the unfolding cosmic drama. Unlike the celestial beauty of the Apsaras, Varuni symbolized something more subtle: the seductive pull of pleasure that can slowly cloud awareness when embraced without restraint. The moment she emerged, the responses of the Devas and Asuras differed greatly. The Asuras stepped towards her eagerly. The Devas stepped away, and within that single moment, the Bhagavatam quietly revealed a profound truth about consciousness itself. For Sanatan Dharma rarely teaches through rigid condemnation. Instead, it speaks gently through balance, awareness, consequence, and inner clarity. The story of Varuni is therefore not merely about wine or intoxicating drink. It is about anything that clouds awareness, anything that weakens discernment, anything that slowly pulls the mind away from its higher center. For not every treasure emerging from life's great churning is meant to be embraced. Some gifts nourish the soul, others test the strength of awareness itself. Section 2. The emergence of Varuni, the daughter of the ocean god. Varuna, as the great cosmic churning continued, the ocean of milk revealed yet another mysterious presence from its sacred depths. The waters shimmered beneath celestial light, while waves of foam and radiance circled around Mount Mandara. The Devas and Asuras watched intently, for by now they understood that each emergence carried meaning far beyond outward appearance. From the ocean arose Varuni, graceful, luminous, and deeply symbolic. She is often described as the daughter of Varuna, the ancient Vedic deity associated with cosmic waters, divine order, and the unseen depths of existence. Because of this connection, her emergence from the ocean carried profound symbolic resonance within the Samudra Manthana narrative. Yet, unlike many of the treasures that had emerged before her, Varuni represented something more psychologically subtle. She became associated with wine, fermented drink, intoxication, and the pleasures capable of altering the state of the mind. Within the symbolic language of Sanatan philosophy, intoxication is rarely understood only in a literal sense. Rather, it points toward any force capable of clouding awareness, weakening discernment, or drawing consciousness away from inner clarity. Thus, Varuni's emergence introduced another dimension to the cosmic churning. For the ocean was not revealing only divine blessings and celestial beauty. It was also revealing the many forces that test awareness itself. And perhaps this is why her appearance feels so deeply human. For throughout life, pleasure often rises before the mind, clothed in beauty, sweetness, a comfort, and attraction. Rarely does temptation first appear frightening. More often, it appears inviting, gentle, even harmless. And so, as Varuni stood before the assembled Devas and Asuras, the cosmic drama quietly shifted from outer emergence to inner choice. Section 3. Varuna, Lord of the Cosmic Waters. To understand the deeper symbolism of Varuni, it is important to first understand the figure of Varuna, from whom her name arises. Varuna is one of the ancient Vedic deities of Sanatan Dharma, especially prominent within the Vedas, long before many later Puranic traditions fully developed. He is traditionally associated with cosmic waters, oceans, rivers, the vast sky, divine law, moral order, and the unseen harmony governing the universe. In the oldest Vedic understanding, Varuna was not merely a god of water in a simplistic sense. He represented the vast intelligence and sacred order underlying existence itself. In the Rig Veda, Varuna is often described as majestic, all-seeing, deeply wise, and connected to Rita, the cosmic order that sustains harmony throughout creation. Later, as Hindu traditions evolved through the Puranic period, Varuna became more specifically associated with the oceans, aquatic realms, and celestial waters. He is often depicted riding a makara, a mythical sea creature, while carrying a noose known as the Pasha. Varuni is traditionally described as either the daughter of Varuna or as a goddess associated with him because she emerged from the cosmic waters during the Samudra Manthana. Even her name, Varuni, carries the meaning belonging to Varuna, and symbolically, this carries profound meaning. For water itself can nourish life, cleanse, heal, and sustain creation. Yet from those same cosmic waters emerged fermentation, intoxication, and altered consciousness. Thus, the Samudra Manthana reveals one of its deepest truths. The ocean of existence contains both upliftment and testing simultaneously. From the same cosmic depths emerged beauty, prosperity, wisdom, temptation, and the many forces capable of shaping human consciousness. And perhaps this is why the story of Varuni remains so timeless. For existence itself continuously offers both nourishment and distraction to the human soul. Section 4. The Choice of the Asuras. As Varuni emerged from the churning ocean carrying the essence of intoxicating pleasure, the reactions of the assembled beings began to reveal the deeper tendencies hidden within their nature. The Asuras stepped forward eagerly, drawn by attraction, indulgence, and the promise of sensory delight. They welcomed Varuni without hesitation. To them, the intoxicating gift appeared desirable, pleasurable, and worthy of immediate acceptance. For the Asuras, the churning of the ocean was driven largely by ambition, power, enjoyment. and the desire to possess the treasures of existence for themselves. And so, when Varuni appeared, they saw not a test of awareness, but an opportunity for gratification. This moment within the Bhagavatam carries profound symbolic meaning. The Asuras do not represent evil in a simplistic sense. Rather, they often symbolize the aspects of consciousness that become dominated by unchecked desire, attachment, ego, and outward craving. Thus, their acceptance of Varuni reflects a deeper human tendency, the desire to escape discomfort through pleasure, to seek fulfillment through stimulation, and to become absorbed in experiences that temporarily intoxicate the mind. For intoxication does not always arrive through drink alone. Human beings can become intoxicated by many things: power, wealth, attention, pleasure, anger, admiration, sensory indulgence, or even the endless distractions of the world. Anything that overwhelms inner balance can slowly begin to cloud awareness. And yet, the Bhagavatam presents this moment with remarkable subtlety. There is no harsh condemnation, no thunderous punishment descends from the heavens. Instead, the scripture quietly allows the choice itself to speak. For Sanatan wisdom often teaches not through fear, but through consequence. The Asuras embraced intoxication because it resonated with the direction of their consciousness. And this truth continues to echo far beyond the ancient story. For even in modern life, the mind is constantly offered forms of intoxication disguised as comfort, success, pleasure, escape, or emotional relief. Some appear harmless at first, some even appear beautiful. But when desire is accepted without awareness or restraint, the mind gradually begins to lose its stillness. And once clarity weakens, discernment slowly fades with it. Section 5. Why the Devas decline Varuni. In contrast to the Asuras, the Devas chose not to accept Varuni. This moment is deeply significant within the Samudra Manthana narrative, for it reveals another layer of spiritual symbolism hidden beneath the cosmic story. The refusal of the Devas does not suggest that pleasure itself is evil, nor does Sanatan Dharma teach that all enjoyment must be rejected. Rather, the deeper teaching lies in balance, awareness, and mastery over the mind. The Devas represent the qualities within consciousness that move toward harmony, clarity, restraint, wisdom, and higher understanding. And so, when Varuni emerged carrying the power of intoxication, the Devas recognized the subtle danger hidden within excessive indulgence, for they understood that once awareness becomes clouded, discernment begins to weaken, and when discernment weakens, the mind can slowly lose its connection to inner balance. Thus, their refusal was not born from fear, nor hatred, nor rigid denial of life's pleasures. It arose from understanding. The Bhagavatam therefore presents restraint not as suppression, but as conscious choice. A person rooted in awareness does not reject joy. Rather, they learn how to experience life without becoming enslaved by it. This distinction is extremely important, for Sanatan philosophy does not ask the seeker to abandon the world completely. Instead, it teaches the art of remaining inwardly steady while moving through the many attractions of existence. Pleasure itself is temporary, but awareness allows one to remain free. And perhaps this is why the Devas declined Varuni, not because they lacked access to pleasure, but because they understood the value of clarity. For a clouded mind may temporarily feel liberated, yet true freedom belongs to the consciousness that remains awake. And this teaching continues to carry profound relevance today, for modern life constantly encourages stimulation, distraction, speed, and emotional excess. The mind is rarely encouraged to become still, yet without stillness, human beings slowly lose the ability to hear their deeper inner voice. Thus, the Devas quietly remind the seeker that true strength often lies not in possession, but in restraint, not in constant indulgence, but in the ability to remain conscious while moving through the world. Section 6, Symbolism of Intoxication. The story of Varuni carries meaning far beyond the image of wine emerging from the cosmic ocean. Within the deeper symbolic language of the Bhagavatam, intoxication represents anything capable of clouding awareness and pulling consciousness away from inner balance. At first glance, intoxication may appear to offer relief, pleasure, escape, confidence, excitement, or comfort. Perhaps this is why the symbolism of Varuni feels so psychologically profound. For not everything that weakens the mind first appears frightening. Some temptations arrive gracefully, softly, beautifully. They may appear comforting, pleasurable, socially celebrated, or even emotionally healing in the beginning. The danger is not always found in the first experience itself. More often, it begins in unconscious attachment. Slowly, almost invisibly, the mind begins to depend upon the thing that once appeared harmless. And over time, awareness weakens. Freedom quietly becomes dependency. Thus, within Sanatan philosophy, intoxication is not limited merely to alcohol or substances alone. Human beings may become intoxicated by many forces: power, wealth, attention, pleasure, social approval, ego validation, constant stimulation, endless entertainment, emotional dependency, or even spiritual pride. Some seek escape through intoxicating substances, others through distraction, admiration, control, or emotional attachment. Yet beneath many forms of intoxication lies the same deeper longing, the desire to escape inner emptiness, restlessness, pain, fear, or dissatisfaction. And this is what makes the story of Varuni timeless. For the Bhagavatam is not merely describing an ancient cosmic event, it is describing the human condition itself. Even in modern life, the mind is constantly surrounded by forces competing for its attention. The world encourages endless consumption, constant noise, unceasing stimulation, and the pursuit of pleasure without pause for reflection. The modern seeker therefore faces the same test symbolized during the Samudra Manthana. What will be embraced? What will be declined? What strengthens awareness? And what slowly weakens it? And yet, Sanatan Dharma approaches this question with remarkable balance and compassion. It does not teach hatred toward joy, nor does it demand that life be stripped of beauty, celebration, or human experience. Rather, it gently warns against losing oneself within attachment. For joy experienced with awareness can uplift the heart, but pleasure pursued without balance can slowly imprison the mind. And perhaps this is the deeper continuity between the emergence of the Apsaras and the emergence of Varuni. Beauty tests perception, temptation tests awareness. One asks whether the mind can see clearly, the other asks whether the mind can remain free. Section 7, a gentle reflection for the modern seeker. The story of Varuni continues to hold deep relevance for the modern world. Today, human beings may no longer stand beside the cosmic ocean, watching celestial treasures emerge from its waters. Yet the inner churning of the mind continues constantly within everyday life. Modern society offers countless forms of stimulation, comfort, distraction, and emotional escape. The mind is rarely allowed to become still. People move endlessly, from one source of stimulation to another, one screen to another, one desire to another, one distraction to the next. And often, this happens so gradually that the loss of inner clarity is barely noticed. Comfort itself can become intoxicating. Pleasure can quietly become dependency. Entertainment can slowly replace silence. Even the constant search for validation, approval, recognition, or admiration can begin to shape the direction of consciousness. The Bhagavatam, therefore, speaks not only to ancient seekers, but to the modern human condition itself. For the story of Varuni is not truly about alcohol alone. It is about anything that clouds awareness, anything that weakens discernment, anything that slowly pulls the mind away from its higher center. Some people lose themselves in substances, others lose themselves in endless distraction, others lose themselves in emotional attachment, ambition, anger, consumption, or the constant pursuit of external approval. And yet, these patterns are often socially normalized and even celebrated. In the modern world, even consumption itself can quietly become a form of intoxication. Food once prepared lovingly for sacred gatherings and special occasions is now available endlessly, often without pause, reflection, or restraint. The mind seeks comfort constantly through eating, scrolling, stimulation, entertainment, or the endless pursuit of emotional relief. At times, the body becomes overfed while the spirit quietly grows exhausted. Physical movement decreases, stillness disappears, sleep becomes restless, and the mind, overwhelmed by constant stimulation, slowly loses its natural balance. Many modern struggles, such as emotional exhaustion, anxiety, dependency, isolation, and even certain forms of mental suffering, can deepen when awareness is lost beneath endless distractions and unconscious habit. Yet the Bhagavatam does not speak with condemnation, it speaks with compassion. For the human mind has always searched for comfort during periods of pain, uncertainty, loneliness, or inner unrest. Temptation rarely announces itself openly. More often, it quietly enters ordinary life disguised as comfort, consumption, success, pleasure, entertainment, or emotional relief. Thus, the challenge faced by the modern seeker is not necessarily to reject the world completely, but to remain inwardly awake while moving through it, to enjoy life without becoming consumed by it, to experience pleasure without becoming dependent upon it, to participate in the world while still protecting inner clarity. And perhaps this is the quiet wisdom hidden within the story of Varuni. The true danger is not always the object itself. Often, the deeper danger lies in unconscious attachment. For once awareness begins to fade, the mind slowly forgets how to return to stillness. And without stillness, it becomes difficult to hear the deeper voice of the soul. The deeper teaching of Varuni is therefore not rejection of life, but the restoration of awareness within it. Section 8. Lessons and take home messages. Lesson 1. Not every treasure that emerges from life's great churning is meant to be embraced. Lesson 2. Some experiences uplift awareness, while others quietly weaken inner clarity. Lesson 3. Wisdom lies not only in what one accepts, but also in what one chooses to step away from. Lesson 4. Temptation rarely appears frightening in the beginning. More often, it arrives gently, clothed in comfort, pleasure, beauty, or emotional relief. Lesson 5. Anything that clouds awareness or weakens discernment can gradually become a form of intoxication. Lesson 6. True freedom is not found in uncontrolled indulgence, but in the ability to remain inwardly balanced. Lesson 7. Pleasure itself is not condemned within Sanatan philosophy. The deeper warning lies in unconscious attachment and loss of moderation. Lesson 8. Modern life constantly pulls the mind outward through stimulation, distraction, consumption, and emotional dependency. Preserving stillness, therefore, becomes a sacred discipline. Lesson 9. Clarity of mind is one of the foundations of spiritual awareness. Lesson 10. True strength often lies in restraint. Lesson 11. The restoration of awareness begins when the mind learns once again how to become still. Lesson 12. The story of Varuni reminds the seeker that balance, awareness, and inner steadiness are essential while moving through the many temptations of life. Section 9. Conclusion. The great churning of the cosmic ocean did not reveal only divine treasures and celestial wonders. It also revealed the many forces capable of shaping human consciousness itself. Through the emergence of Varuni, the Bhagavatam gently turns the seeker inward, asking a timeless question: what truly preserves clarity within the human mind? For the ocean of existence continuously offers countless gifts to the soul. Some nourish awareness, some strengthen wisdom, some awaken compassion, beauty, devotion, higher understanding, and some quietly test the stability of the mind. The story of Varuni therefore reminds the seeker that discernment is essential upon the spiritual path. For not every attraction leads toward freedom. Not every pleasure preserves balance, and not every experience that appears comforting brings peace. Yet the deeper teaching of Sanatan Dharma is never rooted in fear or harsh condemnation. Instead, it speaks softly through awareness, moderation, consequence, and inner understanding. Pleasure itself is not the enemy. Attachment is the deeper danger. For once awareness fades, the mind slowly loses its connection to stillness, clarity, and inner freedom. And perhaps this is why the Devas declined Varuni, not because they rejected life, but because they understood the importance of remaining awake within it. In this way, the story of Varuni quietly reminds the modern seeker that true yoga is not escape from life, but steadiness within life, to move through the world without losing oneself within it, to experience joy without becoming imprisoned by attachment, to remain inwardly balanced amidst the endless movements of desire, distraction, stimulation, and change. For the treasures of life become meaningful only when received with awareness. And when awareness is protected, the mind slowly rediscovers the path back to inner balance, clarity, and peace. Sometimes that restoration begins quietly, through meditation, through prayer, through mindful movement and care for the body, through time spent in nature, through compassion toward animals and those who suffer, or through moments of stillness that gently reconnect the mind to the deeper rhythm of life. In a world overflowing with distraction and stimulation, such practices become sacred acts of remembrance, for they help the seeker return once more to awareness, balance, and the quiet peace already waiting within the soul. Not every offering of the world must be accepted. Wisdom lies in knowing which gifts preserve the clarity of the soul